The quiet town of Havenwood, known for its friendly neighbors and ancient Blackwood Forest, was losing its peace. Whispers of a ghost haunting the woods started in late autumn, carried on the crisp wind. Old Mr. Abernathy, who lived on the edge of the tree line, swore he'd heard a ghostly wail on moonless nights. Others claimed to have seen a pale, shimmering figure. The beloved forest, once a place for family picnics and hikes, became a place of dread, and no one dared to enter it after sundown. This was exactly the reaction the criminal syndicate, led by the calculating Silas, had hoped for. Havenwood was the perfect, unsuspecting town for their operation. The ghost stories were a clever diversion, a phantom barrier to keep curious eyes away from their illegal activities. The syndicate was using the forest as a secret highway to smuggle rare artifacts. They had rigged a simple pulley system with a white sheet and a hidden speaker to create their ghost and its mournful wail. The plan was flawless, and for months, the fear they cultivated kept their operation running smoothly. But Silas hadn't accounted for 12-year-old Leo, a boy with an insatiable curiosity and a love for mystery books. The ghost stories didn't scare him, they intrigued him. On his evening bike rides near the forest's edge, he'd started noticing things that didn't fit the ghost narrative: a faint scent of diesel fuel, and the sound of a metal latch clicking in the distance. Leo's logical mind told him that something more earthly was at play. One Friday night, determined to uncover the truth, Leo slipped out his window with a flashlight and a small camera. The forest was intimidating in the dark, but he followed a barely visible trail that he'd spotted earlier that day. As he walked, he noticed discarded zip ties and a smudge of oil on a rock, clear signs of human activity. Finally, he reached a small clearing hidden by a thick canopy of pines. He ducked behind a large boulder and peered out. In the clearing, illuminated by the headlights of a van, stood Silas and two other men. They were unloading crates filled with what looked like priceless antiques and rare artifacts. He spotted the ghost to a small, camouflaged speaker tucked into a tree branch with a wire leading down to a battery pack. Leo knew he had to get proof. He quickly aimed his camera and snapped a few pictures. The click of the shutter lost in the sound of the men's work. He had what he needed. As he turned to leave, he heard a footstep nearby. One of the men was walking towards the trail he was on. Leo scrambled into a hollowed-out log, holding his breath as the man passed within feet of his hiding spot. Once the coast was clear, Leo fled the forest and raced home. Instead of going to bed, he woke his older sister, Sarah, a budding investigative journalist for the local paper. Sarah, a pragmatist by nature, was skeptical at first, but the photos on Leo's camera and his detailed account convinced her. She immediately recognized the men from police reports and the artifacts as likely stolen. The next morning, Sarah and Leo went straight to the Havenwood police station. The police chief, who had been baffled by a recent spike in property crimes, was stunned. The photos, Leo's testimony, and the location of the hidden clearing were all the evidence he needed. That night, the police swarmed Blackwood Forest, catching the entire syndicate in the act. The surprise was complete. Silas's smug grin vanished as the officers moved in, his clever plan exposed by a 12-year-old boy. The ghost of Blackwood Forest was never seen again. The town learned the truth about their fears, and the forest was no longer a place of dread. It became a monument to a young boy's courage and a reminder that not all mysteries are supernatural.